I wanted to, have a conversation about mindset. So, hey guys, Evan's here with Sean at Senior Fit, and pretty excited. I talked about this morning when I was cooking that I wanted to really get into metabolism, and it's probably my favorite topic. Our mission here has metabolism right into it. And part of our core values that we never do anything to compromise the metabolism. But as I'm, creating my meal plan, coming in here, dealing with some just day-to-day work stuff, I thought about it and I was like, well, if we don't have the right mindset, then no matter how much data we have, then it's of none effect. So, again, I like dialogue, so Sean's going to be jumping in and talking, but feel free to comment or ask questions and we'll kind of get in there. So I guess I want to start off with, most times when people look at this idea of metabolism or body composition changes to reach a fitness goal. If there's this concept, called the behavior change model, and I'm not going to go through, that class, so to speak, and there's a phase in the fitness equation where you've made a decision and you're ready to act, I know you've made a decision recently to get bigger. Maybe if you talk a little bit about what's in your mindset, and then I'll parallel it back to, what's a mindset that someone should have going into health and fitness.
Well, a certain level of commitment. One, commitment to the meal plan that you're on, commitment to yourself, and commitment to your goal. That's mainly the first step. A lot of people think, well, if I follow my meal plan sometimes, or if I follow my meal plan this week and I'll tweak it next week and things like that, you really have to be disciplined. You really have to say, I'm going to do it, I'm going to commit to it, I'm going to commit to my goals, and that's a good starting point as far as mindset going into dictating your metabolism.
Absolutely. So I love it. You talk about this commitment level, and I think that's where, not to put you in blast, but I think that's where a lot of people make a lot of error. They overcommit. So I always say, people ask me all the time, they come in for consultations and they're like, Evans, how often should I work out? And I'm like, how often are you available to work out? And they're like, oh, I can do like 5 days a week, 6 days, whatever it takes to hit my goal. So I always go, well, how often do you currently work out? I don't currently work out. Well, can you do 2 days a week? Yeah, I can do 2 days a week. I'll do 5, 6, I'll do 8 days a week if that's what it takes, And I'm like, how about we just start at 2 days? So one of the things, is so funny because Sean has this goal of getting bigger with me for about 3 months now, and it's just last week he got serious about it, But the whole time it was still a goal. So, I think it starts back with that. It starts back with, being patient with yourself, to go through the process of developing the habits you need in order to accomplish the goal that you want to have. So if I want to get bigger or smaller, maybe I'll start cleaning up my diet a little bit. Maybe I'll, eat a little bit more frequently. Maybe I'll pack some of my meals some of the time, and then over time you'll start developing momentum. Understand, if you're doing nothing right now, a small shift can create some massive results. A great example of that, you guys will see it this week, I'm going to post it out there, is Rob Carter. And I never want to, make it seem like Rob made a small shift, but I tell you, it did start with working out 2 days a week. And then from the 2 days a week of resistance training, he changed his diet some, he added some cardio in there. I mean, Rob's not at a point where he's working out, 5-6 hours a week consistently, and he's looking phenomenal. But it started with that small change. And when in the consultation, he's like, should I do nutritional coaching? Should I do personal training? What should I do? And TJ did the consultation. He's like, well, how do you feel about your nutrition? He's like, I think I know what I should do. He's like, well, just start with the personal training a couple days a week. See if you like it. You can always bump up from there. And I mean, he's crushed it, which is really, really cool. So the first mindset thing is I am patient with me. Really, really important. The second thing that Sean talked about was your goals. So it's really, really important. This is a skill set you can use for anything else in life, but you have to know what you want, specifically. A lot of times people go, well, I just want to lose weight. Well, what does that look like? Because, I can go use the bathroom and lose weight, so I don't think that's the goal. But, specifically, do I want to, maybe my arms, when I stop waving, it still waves, so I want to tighten my arms, or maybe it's my abs I want to lean out, or, maybe, some people say a lot of times I want to increase my health. But what does that mean for you? Is that, hey, I'm fatigued a lot and I want more energy? Or is that, going up a flight of stairs, I get winded and I don't want to get winded? I tell you this, I thought I was in good shape until this weekend I went to the Battle Frog event, and I'm trying to record my son, and I'm running up a hill. Evans does not run. I run to the bathroom. I run on the treadmill every once in a while. But that's about it. But I don't really enjoy it. And we have Crystal, our nutritionist. She loves it. It clears her mind. She runs, I think it's like 30 miles a week or something like that. It's just beautiful for her. It really provides some good mental break, and she loves it. I spend too much time thinking about, is my stride right? Am I breathing at the right pace? So I can force it out, but it's frustrating. So, whenever you're fitting in, and I guess that's a great mindset thing as well, whatever you choose to do for fitness, ensure that it's something that you like. Because if you don't like it, you won't sustain it. I was talking to a young lady yesterday, just speaking about this whole sustainability, and she's like, today's my last day eating bread. And I was like, whoa. That's kind of like a dramatic commitment. I was like, why? Well, I know what to do, so, and I love it, I know what to do, but, sometimes I don't do it. And I'm like, look, you can't just cut out bread. I didn't even tell her that I'm thinking this, if people don't ask me, I just go, oh, okay, cool. And I was like, you can't just cut out bread, but she's like, I'm just going to cut out bread for 30 days. And I'm thinking, man, day 31 is going to be game over. She's going to go all in. But, figure out, what do you want? What specifically do you want? The second question to ask yourself is, why do you want it? And you have to be honest with yourself. That can be anything from just straight vanity. And it's fine. It's your goals, So no one's judging you on the back end saying, hey, I want to look really awesome. I want to look like Sean when I go to the beach and take my shirt off. Well, hey, if that's what you want, at least you know what you want, you know why you want it, and you want to write that down. If you write down your goal, your percentages of hitting it increase dramatically. Yale did a whole study with it, and they said it goes up 80%. The Post-it people just did a commercial when they tagged the Post-it on the backboard, and they said, if you write your goals down, you have a 47% higher chance of accomplishing it. So we know that your percentages increase if you write down specifically what you want. So know what you want, know why you want it, be patient with yourself going through the process, and take the time to learn all the things you need to know to be successful. If I decided I did want to do marathon running, I'd learn about sneakers. I'd learn about, proper breathing. I'd learn about, all kinds of other things so I can be successful in this journey long term. So really, really important. Just think about those kind of things as you're going through it. The last thing, that I really wanted to hit, maybe it's not the last thing, but we'll talk. I'll let Sean throw some stuff in there, and feel free to ask questions as well, is realize that you're worthy. I think a lot of times, there's this is how your brain works. Anybody knows me, here comes a dry erase marker on the board. It couldn't last too long without it. So this is your brain. I always want to feel like I'm on that commercial when I was a kid. I'm just trying to get proper lighting. This is your brain, and when I was a kid, they'd be like, this is your brain on drugs, but when you crack the egg. But in your brain, you have your conscious mind here. So this is your conscious mind, and you have your subconscious mind here. That's SUB, subconscious, conscious. And if it comes out clearly, you can see that your conscious mind deals with a small amount of things, but your subconscious mind deals with the mass amount of things out there. Well, if you're shooting to be successful in your fitness goals, understand that it has to be subconscious. So I give you an example. The people who get in the most amount of car accidents today are teenagers. And the reason why teenagers get into car accidents is because they're driving consciously. They're thinking about, okay, is it 10 and 2 or 1 and 3? As far as hand placement. They're thinking when the light turns, they have to think, what should I do with my feet? As they're getting these different impulses, they're thinking about it. And because they're thinking, it takes time. Now, for us, it seems like, oh, that's no time, but it does take time. And that time, that reaction time that they don't have, costs them. So it's really important that you do the activity long enough that you don't think about it. And all of us that are old enough or been driving long enough has experienced times where we were like dead tired. We drove and we got home and we don't remember if we ever stopped at a light. We don't remember how did we get here. We don't remember making the turns. All that happens subconsciously. And so when you're looking to shoot for a fitness goal, you have to do it long enough till you don't even think about it. And so often, if you drive the same route all the time, you'll find yourself driving that route subconsciously, even though you planned on going somewhere else. It's like, man, I just made this right turn home. Oh, that's why I got to go somewhere else, because your subconscious mind took over. So fitness is challenging here when you do it consciously. So how do we get it from subconscious to conscious? Is through time. So over time of just doing it over and over and over. So if I'm going to have to do it over and over, I don't want to start 5 days a week consciously, because that may be defeating. But I can start 2 or 3 days a week, 3 days a week, 30 to 45 minutes consciously allows me to get into the groove of things. Once I've gotten into the groove, I'm not even thinking about those 3 days. So honestly, for the first 5 years of Seeing You Fit, I never worked out more than 4 days in a week, ever. I lost all the weight that I lost. I conditioned myself. Never went over 4 days a week. People's like, oh, how long you work out? You must work. When I met people and they said I work out 5 days a week, an hour and a half in the gym, I used to be like, wow. What? How do you do that? You recover? Sean's one of those people. I was like, how do you do that? Well, he's been an athlete his whole life. I was eating like chocolate chip cookies and pizza and watching TV when he was training and shifting from conscious work to subconscious work. So when I made the shift even last year to, I did the men's physique, or just even now, I'm back down to 4 days a week now. But even if I wanted to go up, I'm just really adding 1 day. Adding 1 day, not too hard. But adding 5 days, pretty challenging. So that's the first part, is to get this activity so it's subconscious work. That's anything from meal prep to physical training. It has to go through that process, and it happens over time. The other part is realizing your brain works, or your mind. So you have your brain, that's physical matter here, but you also have your mind. Your mind controls your thinking process, your emotions, all this kind of stuff is in your mind. So that's not physical matter, but realize that your mind works in pictures. So when I say dog, I don't have to tell you picture a dog. I just say a dog. I say, hey guys, a dog just ran across Seeing You Fit. And then depending on what kind of dog you think about, you think of this furry creature with 4 legs, hopefully, that's running across Seeing You Fit. Now if I say if the dog's a Labrador Retriever, you're thinking of a bigger furry animal, unless it's a little baby one. And if I say if it's a brown lab, you're thinking brown lab. You're not thinking BROWN space LAB. You're not thinking that. You're picturing an animal. Now, what does this have to do with fitness and mindset? Everything. Because when you say things about yourselves and your fitness goals, if you don't picture yourself the way you want to be, then your mind will always go to the picture that you have of yourself. Real, I know. So I went like real deep here. It was like, oh, I was with you. Yeah, I get it. But it's really, really important. There's a lot of great books. One of my favorite books is What to Say When You Talk to Yourself by Dr. Shad Helmstetter. And he talks about that. Another great book is The Ant and the Elephant. It's a really good book. Talks about subconscious and conscious mind. But the idea is that your brain is a field of images. So it's really important that you set your speaking pattern in a way that creates the images for your brain. And I mean, for many of us, for me, I took a picture of myself. I drew abs in there when I didn't have abs. It's true. And I hung it. It literally has the backdrop of my computer at the time. Dana was like, this is disgusting. But if I pull up my shirt, I got abs, you know what I mean? So it works. But after a certain amount of time, I started subconsciously receiving that was me. So even though consciously I'm like, that's not me, that's who I want to be, I will be there, eventually by seeing it over and over and over, that became who I was. You know, so the image that you hold the greatest or most consistent about you will be the reality in which you hold. So if you want a different reality, we need different images. You know, so before we dive into what to do, you can do all that with the wrong image of you, and it won't create the results. You wonder, why did I just sabotage myself? Because in your mind, you didn't see yourself succeeding. You saw yourself trying. You know, and you know, I always do this exercise with people where I have them hold a pen and like try to drop it. Have I ever done that with you?
Mm-mm.
Okay, great. This is awesome. This is like real deal Holyfield. So this is my hand, and here's Sean. Hold this pen. Oh, a marker. I want you to try to drop it in my hand. No. Don't drop it in my hand. Try to drop it in my hand. No. Don't drop it in my hand. I just want you to try to drop it.
I ain't trying.
No, I don't want you to hold it. I want you to try to drop it.
But I'm doing.
No, I want you to not hold it. I want you to try to drop it. This is what he experiences massive frustration right now.
Hold on. You don't want me to...
I don't want you to hold it. I want you to try to drop it in my hand. No, I don't want you to drop it. I don't want you to drop it. I want you to try to drop it.
How can you try to drop it?
And that's the answer. Everybody reaches that point. They go, how do you try to drop it? Well, how do you try to lose weight? How do you try to get on a meal plan? How do you try to be consistent? The same way you try to drop it. So try does not exist. Your brain cannot process that, so it stands still. Most of the time, he was holding it because he didn't know what to do. Do I drop it? Do I not drop it? So when you're speaking and you're creating these images of yourself, you don't put in the image, I'm trying to lose weight. You say, hey, I'm developing a lifestyle consistent with my goals. Hey, I'm losing weight. Hey, I'm becoming the best version of me possible. Whatever your goal is, that's what I'm doing. I'm getting big. But I'm not trying to, because if I'm trying to, that means I'm not. And now your brain has this image of I'm not, or it's just straight confusion and no activity happens. And, you know, subconsciously, remember the subconscious matter runs the show. And if it doesn't have a clear image of what it's supposed to be, you're stuck. And you're like, man, I just did all that. I just skipped 6 meals. I only ate once today. I was trying to get bigger. Or I only ate once today. I was trying to lose weight. You know, why didn't I do what I was supposed to do? Because there's an image of you trying or really not doing versus the image of you doing. So simple homework assignment. And this is really important to understand that, you know, anything you want to create, whether it's fitness related, business related, success related, you can create that. All things are possible to those who believe, and there's nothing that's impossible to you. Specifically, as we dial into fitness, is understanding that you can transform your body to any level, you know, that you want to. It's just a matter of, do you have that image of you in your mind in place? And I tell you, as much work as you may spend in the gym, as much work as you may spend in the kitchen, if you don't spend that work in here, your work will not produce the result that you want to. So what we do here, we teach our clients to have affirmations. Affirmations or confessions, depending which coach you talk to, are the same things. Basically, you speak the things that you want to have as if you had them. You know, very, very simple concepts. I mean, we do it all the time naturally. We tell people, hey, you know, our kids are going to this college or they're going to accomplish this or whatever. You're speaking what you want to have, you know. So it's not even that I'm getting fit, it is I am fit. So it's kind of funny. I keep my affirmations here tied to my computer. And I'll actually read through the whole thing here, but first I just want to show the fitness part. Now, I wrote these affirmations and I did not have any fitness in my background. I was actually overweight. I was eating. My situation, how I got into fitness, was birthed by 2 people. One was my little brother, Demik, and also Dr. Calvin Wilson. My brother saw me, or I saw him come out the shower. We were at a business conference together in DC. I'll never forget the moment. And he's rooming with me and my wife. He comes out the shower. He has a towel around his waist and nothing up top. And it was just me, him, and my wife. You know, his sister-in-law, his brother's wife. You know, and every insecurity I've ever had came to light in that moment. I was like, oh my God. You know, my brother, he has like this big chest, abs, arms, you know. He's already a good-looking guy, and I had to struggle with that my whole life, you know. So I'm like, I'm like, yo, you gotta put a shirt on. He's like, I didn't even dry off yet. I just want to know, do you have lotion? Do you have, I think he asked for like Aquaphor or something like that because he had dry skin. I was like, no, go back in the bathroom. So after he got dressed, he was like, yo, E, like, what's wrong with you? I was like, my wife is sitting right here. You know, he was like, are you serious? And I was like, yeah, I'm serious. It was so funny. Dana's like, I don't care about that kind of stuff. I'm an athlete. I've seen a bunch of guys with their shirt off. I ran track. And I was like, I don't care. You're married to me now. Real talk. It was massive insecurity city. And he was like, well, if you didn't have that pot belly, you wouldn't feel like that. And he just went in. You know, brothers have this blessed anointing to really tell you what you need to hear when you need to hear it. You know, he was like, what happened? You used to be in shape in your high school. You're like totally out of shape. What's wrong with you? And I was like, yo, you know, I had to receive it. It was the truth. And I struggled with health, and a lot of people know that already. I tried and failed. So then at the same time, a little bit later, I lost my job, and Dr. Wilson was like, hey, use this time to get in shape. And that's when I learned fitness. But I wrote my confessions before all of that. And one of my confessions, specific to fitness, it says that we are the epitome of good health. You know, was my confession towards fitness. And it was so funny. I remember saying these confessions every day and buying pizza every day. You know, because I was doing this consciously, I was creating the image of who I am, who's going to be my subconscious mind. But I used to say, man, I'm in the epitome of good health. And I wouldn't do that and then just eat the pizza. I would do that in the morning, and then later on, I'd turn around and eat the pizza. You know, but I didn't know, even though I was consciously eating the pizza and I was doing that, I was reframing the imagery in my mind of who is Evans. Evans is the epitome of good health. He's the epitome of good health. He's the epitome of good health. And then over time, I became the epitome of good health. I mean, you know, I'm healthy. I eat healthy now, and I live a lifestyle that's healthy. I got my blood work done, and my blood glucose, non-fasting, was 80. If 80 is fasting, that's really good. And everybody knows I do eat carbs, so I'm not like the no-carb guy. You know, so it's just really, really amazing how we've been able to transform, but it happened with changing the images in my mind. So I just want to run through this here. I'll even post something. I'll attach, I think you can attach documents in Facebook. I'm not sure if you can or not. But if I can, I'll attach documents that I use for my confessions. But it's something that can add value, and you customize it to you. It doesn't have to be as long as mine. Mine covers multiple different areas of my life. But the idea is going out there and just saying, this is who I am. You know, and you speak what you want to be, not what you are. If you get this right, as we go through these things over the next couple of days and weeks, it's going to be a piece of cake. And I'm telling you, you're going to see some great success. But it starts with being patient with yourself, knowing what you want, why you want those goals, writing it down, and then creating that image. You know, so our confession started with, I understand the power of the spoken word, and that's what I'm talking about right now. I will only say positive, productive, and constructive things. I only speak what I want, regardless of what I have. I am the product of my words. I paint my world with the words I speak. I am positive, attractive, confident, powerful, influential. So funny. When I was saying this, people used to say, Evans, you're like the worst at relationships I've ever seen in my life. My people skills were horrible when I was saying this. It's amazing. I'm relatable and likable. I have a strong influence on the world around me, so I speak life always. My family is strong and our foundation is set. We love the Lord and we seek Him in all our ways. We're the epitome of good health. We're in love, and I love Dana more every day. We have lots of fun as we're in vigorous pursuit of the prize of His high calling. We study, show ourselves approved to God. We are love, faith, wisdom, patience, kindness, and anything God needs in that situation. We speak only blessings over one another, and we pray. We seek first the kingdom of God and all His righteousness. We walk daily in our ambassadorship, powerful in the Lord and leaders in the earth. We leave an inheritance for our children's children. We're debt-free and we're lenders to many nations. All my businesses are blessed. We provide products and services at fair price in the marketplace. We have new clients and consultations every day. Our employees are proficient, and we're helping people across the country. Clients are coming in from the north, the south, the east, and the west. We're attracting people from every race and culture. Companies of all sizes are calling on us to see if we can provide them with our services. I have a fast-growing team. We're on one accord. We speak the same thing. We're of one mind. Everyone I share a business plan with gets in. Young, excited, upwardly mobile people partnering in business every day, and they're going core right away. All the families in my business are in good health and prosperous. We're unified. We're developing leaders. We win. We face our fears, and we achieve anyway. I have a dream, and it's alive. I feed my dream daily. I submit my dream to my mentors. I reap what I sow. I give my very best. No one can steal my dream. I'm submitted to the bigger team. I understand the power of dream, and I dream big. I shall not be denied. None shall steal my dream. And he goes on. But the important part is, for me, this was developed over years. I'm saying take 10 things. Maybe go into different areas of your life and talk about your health, your family, all those different kind of things, and just write down who are you. And regardless of life situations, every day make a commitment to speak who you are, create that mindset, and then as you tap into that, metabolism is going to work. We'll talk about hormones and some other things as we go on, but I think if you start the journey knowing what the destination looks like and your commitment to getting there, then you're going to be more successful in that journey versus just going, well, I'm going to do this short term, or, oh, that's a key, that's a nugget, but how does that nugget key work towards your end goal? So again, feel free to comment, ask questions. We're going to start downloading these and posting it on a YouTube page so it can be shared and everything as well. Sean, anything you want to add as we wrap up?
I'm glad you got over your insecurities, Mr. F. That's pretty good. I'm glad you see yourself as
the epitome, all those things on the paper. Well, what's really funny is that Sean's gone through it as well. Now, he never had the fitness insecurities because he's had abs since birth, but it's so cool. He's not like the rest of us out here who have to work for him. But even coming here, we have a poster that says the words we speak, and we trade words like can't for can, fear for courage and belief, nervous for calm and composed, scared to pumped up, worried to confident, busy to productive, try to do, hope to believe, lucky to blessed, shy to outgoing, difficult to challenging, magic to miracle, hard to challenging, exciting, and tired to full of energy. So it's so funny watching Sean come in here, and he would use some of the words. Even my kids were like, "Oh, you mean challenging? Oh, you mean you're full of energy?" And then just watching over the months, now he's pointing clients to like, "Oh no, it means you can do it." So it's really cool, but it's a game changer. So I know I spent some time. Hopefully you guys enjoyed your lunch. I'm about to heat up my sweet potato and what I got. Can you grab it out there? I think in the fridge I got the sweet potato and broccoli and stuff that we cooked earlier. That's my dinner.
Okay.
There we go. Yeah. So lunch. So we're still cooking and eating. You didn't see that drop. And but we're gonna warm that up, rock that out, and have fun from there. So I'm glad you guys were able to come on. I love sharing with you guys. Feel free again to add and go through some things. But I think that was the most important thing to start with before we even dive deeper into how the body works. So again, I'm Evan to See Me Fit.
I'm Sean.
And it was great chatting with you guys.